Previously on Dread and Breakfast.
Welcome to the Kalamazoo. It seems like it's set up as a lab. There's an area with a ton of different eggs that are being warmed by these heat lamps. There's just like everything is marked with this ORCS.
Oh, these bastards.
You knew this house was haunted, Amy, and you still brought us here?
The oddity in this house, it's H219.
God, point of order. I can pick locks.
Yeah, you can. Do you wanna break out that cool skill?
Oh, shit!
You follow Marigold into a room filled with mirrors.
Theo is going to sacrifice himself.
Oh!
I save my friend, and I kick the ghost in the dick on my way out.
We just get it to manifest in a mirror, and then if we cover it with holy ground, that should stop it from being able to manifest out of this mirror.
I'm never going back to that fucking church. Shadow's still there.
You burned down a church to throw away a doll?
No. I did not burn down the church. But when the opportunity arose...
I'm cashing in that favor you owe me.
You see this man and this creature with gigantic glowing eyes. Crikey! What seems to be the problem here?
Outside of a house encircled with iron, a house that has become overrun with a ghost. In its garage, we see Tess, dark circles beginning to sag underneath her eyes. We see Shawn holding his ghoul leaflet loosely in his hands. We see Amy and Lewis and Marigold all staring at this new, rather imposing, I'd say, figure that has just entered. But before we rejoin them inside that garage, we need to...
I want to meet him!
Well, you are about to, because we have to take a step back for just a moment and figure out who in the fuck this dude is. So, Fob, hello.
Hi. Happy to be here, everyone.
We are a couple of years in the past now. This is before your current ORCS assignment, the one that Marigold has just called you away from to help deal with H219 and this undocumented oddity in a church problem. You, your character, shall I say, are in your previous assignment, and we see your slightly younger self. So would you be so kind as to describe this man to us and tell him his name? Because boy, howdy. Is it a name?
Okay. So yeah, you all see kind of like a big imposing figure, like a barrel-chested, khaki-wearing, safari-looking man. Handlebar mustache and mutton chops, you know, the whole shebang.
Mutton chops! That's an addition.
I'm picturing Colonel Mustard from the hit board game Clue. Is this your intention?
That's pretty close. Not like white facial hair, more like dark brown. He is missing his right eye. That is gone. And there is absolutely no scar or anything like, you know, like a fun cut or anything. Just no eye. That's not there.
And he doesn't wear like an eye patch or anything?
He's not. He kind of, it intimidates people and it makes people kind of, it weirds them out. So he kind of uses that.
So what is your name?
My name's Agent Carrot. It's very nice to meet all of you. Except I'm meeting none of you right now because we're in the past.
Beautiful. So, Agent Carrot.
Yeah.
Can you?
Oh man!
Can you make me 2 intro pulls, please? Since it's your first time on this podcast.
And we have a fresh tower, don't we?
It is brand spanking new.
All right. So
get to pulling, Carrot.
Can't believe you went with Carrot.
There's my first poll.
Excellent.
What if the tower fell? What if it fell?
No, I would cry if you knocked it down.
That'd be so sad.
All right.
Thank you so much, Carrot. That's going to be weird to say.
You're very welcome.
So in this little flashback, we see you in a lab. You're wearing a white lab coat stitched with the ORCS logo and a red polo shirt underneath
It's bloody uncomfortable, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they really skimped on like the quality of the fabric for sure. But you have to wear this red polo shirt nonetheless because you are working for the research branch at this point, though, as your name Carrot suggests, you have a dual specialty with both research and containment. So this lab that you're in, it's a smaller part of a larger complex, and you're at a workstation that's absolutely covered with research notes, test tubes, scattered pipettes, and all sort of equipment that Marissa doesn't understand, and most of that has been brushed aside. You are huddled over a row of these eggs positioned.
Oh, is he now?
And they're positioned underneath like these individual like purple-hued heat lamps. These eggs are different than normal ones. They're like elongated and strange, almost like a mix between like an egg and a cocoon. And you are working to try to get these eggs to hatch. And you've just attempted this on one of them, and the fluid inside is a dark and muddied brown. The creature that had been growing inside of this egg is underdeveloped and just a lump of brown sludge. It is a failure. And next to this egg, you have brushed aside 4 more empty eggshells, all also failures. And you have one last egg in front of you. As you start cleaning your equipment to prepare for this final attempt of the day, next to you is one of your coworkers. And you've worked with her on a couple of different jobs before, but this is where the two of you actually got to know each other well. And unlike you, she's wearing a gold polo underneath her lab coat. And Marigold looks at you with a sympathetic smile and kind of like nudges your shoulder, and she says, "You're making my job too easy. There's no point in developing containment procedures for a genetically modified cryptid if you can't actually, make one."
Yep. Yeah, that's how it goes there, Sheila. Just trying to make your job, your life easy.
Sheila?
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Goldilocks, There you go. Yeah, just trying to make your life, as peachy keen as possible.
Well, do you know what went wrong? Was it the temperature during incubation or contamination? What are you crossing them with again?
It's the Mothman crossed with praying mantis. I thought that'd be fun, like a moth, but he's got little scythe arms, like a Pokemon, a Pokemon.
Amazing.
A Pokemon. Oh, I think my daughter was very into that game like a decade ago now. I hear it's making a comeback.
You have a daughter there, Goldilocks? What's her name?
Oh, her name's Amy. Actually, I was thinking in a couple of months when this place is up and running fully, I might see if I could bring her here. She's always been fascinated by this type of stuff.
Oh, yeah, sort of like a take your daughter to work day sort of thing. Yeah, I get that. And
Marigold kind of like smiles, and you see her get like a little wistful, and like Christine is wheezing.
I still am not over the Mothman bit. Sorry, just mute me. It's fine.
I don't know what there is to laugh about. Their other intern that's in the room for whatever reason. It's gonna be part moth, part man. It's gonna have a great ass. I'll tell you that right now.
Is it as good as the ass on the Mothman statue in Point Pleasant, West Virginia?
It's gonna have a chiseled fucking ass. That's for sure.
Oh my god. Amazing. Okay.
But, as you're cleaning your equipment, Marigold gives you like a reassuring smile. And this is Marigold doesn't play nice, she doesn't mince words, but she says, I mean, you'll get it. eventually. I mean, just look at how close you've gotten this far, and only a quarter of this facility is actually set up. I think another truckload of equipment is being delivered today. Just imagine what it'll be like when it's fully operational. All the things we could learn, all the breakthroughs we'll have. This place is really gonna be something, you know?
Oops, sorry.
That's yeah, it'll be something. I don't know. It's all too clean and sterile for me.
What would you rather just roll around in the dirt? I'm not sure I follow.
Or be out, in the wild catching these things where they live. The original Mothy's out there.
And Marigold shrugs and says, "Well," and kind of nods at your last egg. 51st time's the charm, right? And the door to your lab is open, and you can kind of hear some of your other coworkers in the hall as they pass by. And as you're starting to get set up, that conversation gets louder, and two of your coworkers enter the lab and start doing something at one of the other computers in the room. One of them is some new hire whose name you hadn't gotten around to learning, and the other you also don't know, but you recognize them as part of the security detail. He's also wearing red, and unlike the rest of you, he has a gun holster around his waist. And as they walk in, this man is saying, "Exactly how long are you going to wait before you get off your ass and fix all this?" And the younger man, the new hire, says,
And, hey, Christine, I'm gonna need to borrow your voice for a second, since this might be one of your NPCs from a previous dread, so in post, we're gonna swap in all your lines, okay?
Great, awesome. Hey, cool it. I just gotta wait till the heat dies down a little. They got people crawling all over the place up there. I can't bring the fruit dove back up now. That weird-ass janitor's gonna see me crawling out through the fucking sewer. Hey, Marigold, sweetheart, back me up here. Do I got everything under control, or do I got everything under control?
Marigold rolls her eyes and gives you kind of a sidelong glance, Carrot, and says, "Whatever you say, Redwood."
Hey, what'd I tell you? The name's Dominic. I don't fuck with these stupid secret agent names, aight?
And they continue to go about their business.
I think
Carrot,
I hate him, Marigold. I think I hate him very much, and I would very much not care if something tragic and terrible were to happen to him. Like if he were to get hit in the head, like about, let's say, 6 times with a chair, I'd be all right with that.
And somewhere, somehow, even though you are deep underground, a light from heaven shines upon you. And a voice says, "It shall be so."
in about 15 minutes. But so, Carrot, how are you getting this egg to hatch? What are you doing? What is your,
Right, so the other ones, the first one, I leave it alone. That didn't work. Second one, we tried ice. Thought maybe it was too hot. That was wrong. The third one, it was an issue. Bit of a problem. That one just kind of fell. It wasn't great.
Oh my God.
And the fourth one, that one we almost had, and that one, 2 heat lamps. Who knew? So this one, we're going to try 2 heat lamps, and I'm going to rub the outside. Kind of gently, but just keep my hands on it, just kind of to give it more thermal heat.
And so as you are doing this, again, the other employees are kind of doing their own thing. Marigold is watching you. Underneath your fingertips, you feel the egg start to wiggle a little bit.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And you can almost hear some buzzing, chirping coming out from this egg. And
yes,
as you're getting excited, as it's starting to hatch,
yes,
all of a sudden the power goes out.
Fuck.
And you hear your coworker walk into the hallway, and you hear him say,
"What the fuck, man?"
"I need you to make me a pull, Carrot."
I can do that. Of course, I can do that.
Gosh.
No problem.
This interweaving is so incredible.
Block is pulled. Let's go.
Excellent. Thank you, Carrot. So it takes a couple seconds for the emergency lights to come on, and the heat lamp that you've been using kind of flickers to life again, and its twin does as well. And Marigold looks over her shoulder and is like, what is happening? And you hear Dominic say,
I don't know, man. It looks like the power went out. I gotta do something. I gotta reset the generator or something.
and Carrot, you're so focused on getting this egg to hatch, you can feel it. It's still kind of moving underneath your fingertips, but one of your heat lamps flickers and goes out. What do you do?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I whap it with my hand. Cause that's probably just
the
like
lamp or the egg?
no, the lamp. What the? I learned not to hit it with the. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, so you kind of like hit this heat lamp a couple times and it doesn't turn on. It's not coming. And Marigold beside you is scrambling.
Can I like just like cradle the egg to like try and give it as much of my body heat as I can?
You can.
Okay, I'll do
This
that.
thing makes it's gonna imprint on you.
As you're clutching this egg to your chest, Marigold grabs one of the other heat lamps, one that was like further down in a different station, and brings it over. And the egg wiggles again. You're trying to keep it warm. You're trying to maintain it. You see almost like little tiny hand like poke through. And then you see like another little scythe-like looking hand poke through. And another. And you are hyper focused on this thing, and minutes pass by like seconds, and the egg hatches.
Yes.
And it's alive.
Yes.
Please describe what comes out of the egg for me.
All right, so it's Mothman Jr., MMJ. It's it is the Mothman.
Baby Mothman. Moth baby.
It has 4 arms. The top 2 are scythes, and the bottom 2 are just regular hands. It has 4 eyes. All of them are like iridescent, sort of like oil slick, kind of change color depending on how you're looking at them. It has wings, obviously, and it has a rockin' ass.
So this tiny baby, you were holding it to your chest, and you like kind of pull it. It's like setting in your hands. It's so small. It's like the size of a golf ball. Mm-hmm. It looks at you and it opens all 4 of these eyes one at a time, and it sneezes. Ooh. And from its little antenna, you see like a cloud of like this dust kind of shoot out and like sticks to their little furry body, and it looks up at you, Carrot, and right as that happens, you hear the security alarm go off.
Oh,
and
fuck.
Marigold, who had been taking these notes on this thing, looks panicked, and she says, "What the fuck?"
Crikey, Goldilocks.
Your other coworker rushes out, reaching for his gun, and you see several more rush by in the doorway. And out in the hall, one of them pops in and says, "There's been a breach. We gotta evacuate." And you lock eyes with Marigold, and you both look at this baby, and Marigold starts saying, "Carrot, there's no way this thing is gonna make it through transport. They'll make you contain it. They're gonna lock it away somewhere. We can't take it."
We can, if you don't say anything.
Carrot, we gotta go. We can't.
Goldilocks, I owe you a favor.
Fine, just go.
I grab an incubator and I run.
And we see you, Carrot. We see you kind of cram, not as gently as you would have liked, you cram baby Mothman Jr. into an incubator. And we see you sprinting down these empty hallways, rushing out of the secret bunker beneath the Kalamazoo, cradling this baby in your arms. And that creature is what Tess and Shawn and Lewis and Amy and Marigold all see perched on your shoulder when you enter the garage.
But bigger, right now? It's bigger now, right?
Oh, it's bigger.
Okay.
It's like the size of like maybe like a tennis ball.
I was thinking like at least basketball sized.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it can be basketball size. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's also like a lot more fuzzy. Like imagine like a pom-pom with wings and the eyes and the arms and shit. Like it's fucking adorable and little antenna.
I love this.
It's like clinging onto your shoulder, and so the rest of you as you're grappling with the loss of your home and your friends, perhaps your minds, you see this Van Helsing Steve Irwin dude waltz on in with this fluff ball. As Marigold sees you enter, she says, What are you doing? According to all of our documents, that thing is supposedly contained in a cage in the Arctic somewhere. I haven't spent the last 3 years covering your ass just so you can flaunt him in the open. What if you get caught?
Goldilocks, I'm here to clean up your mess, not
Oh shit!
not for you to rag on me. Do you want my help or not?
Sorry. I'm just...
Thank you. And I go over to Tess.
Tess is looking at you just completely dumbfounded.
But
Fair.
So Carrot goes over to Tess, takes one of her hands in both of his. Amy, I just wanted to let you know, your mom told me so much about you. You seem like a real sweet kid. Everything's gonna be all right. All right? It's gonna be fine.
My name is Tess. That's Amy.
I look over. And I do exactly the same thing to Amy. I don't seem upset, ashamed, or embarrassed about that at all.
I just look at Lewis to get like a vibe check and make sure I'm not totally losing it. Like,
Yeah, Lewis has his jaw kind of like on the ground, just like completely dumbstruck. And you see him as he kind of like slaps his own face a little bit to like wake himself up from this fucking nightmare.
yeah.
And Carrot, Amy is just kind of looking at you and she's like, Yup, it's your name is Carrot?
That's right. That's my, my agent name. Agent Carrot.
Shawn is just fixated on this yet another weird creature that's being brought into his life. Excuse me a second. You're just bringing in another weird ghost creature? I thought we were trying to get rid of him.
Mothy here ain't no ghost. He's a proper, I don't know, a proper creature. He's got a physical form and everything.
And Marigold cuts in and she's like, this is GMC51. It's a genetically modified cryptid.
Goldilocks, his name is MMJ, Mothman Jr. Or, if you prefer, Mothy.
So Lewis nods at Shawn when you start talking. He's like, oh man, I'm probably allergic to that. Damn it. What, Mr. Carrot, sir, what is it? Is it dangerous?
Mothy over here?
Extremely.
Nah. Wouldn't hurt a fly. Well, okay. Would eat a fly, but not, a person.
What about a ghost? Would it eat a ghost?
Mothy?
Mothman Jr. on your shoulder kind of like looks at you and goes, which is Mothman speak for no.
He says he wouldn't eat a ghost. It's hard to do with it being incorporeal and all.
It would have been so convenient.
Yeah, I would have come in here and like Deus Ex Machina the whole podcast. That'd been great.
And Amy kind of like half raises her hand, almost like she's in school, and says, so what can it do?
Oh, I'm sorry, Amy. Would you like a demonstration?
Yes.
All right. And I go, eeny, meeny, miny, that one. And I point to Lewis and I say, there you go, Mothy. And Mothman Jr. Kind of flies over to Lewis, does a little zzz.
Oh,
and,
no.
All right. So we have to explain something real quick. So Bob and I have come up with a system that is not in the Dread rules, and it's just something we fucking bastardize. So Mothman Jr. has magic Mothman cryptid dust, but Mothman Jr. is a baby and can't control it. So we have a list of 6 potential options that could happen. And every time Mothman Jr. has to use his little dust attack like a Pokemon, Fob has to roll a D6, a dice with 6 sides on it. And whatever option that is what happens. Roll me some bones, Spa.
Incredible. Incredible.
I rolled a 6.
That's fine.
Whoops.
You see this dust kind of like Mothman Jr. kind of settles right on top of Lewis's head. And Lewis kind of like, and like ducks down, and Mothman Jr. again kind of does quite adorably a little sneeze, and some dust falls into Lewis's face, and you see Lewis start sneezing because that's just what he does.
That's how he be.
And he like looks up at it and then looks at all of you. He's like, and then collapses to the ground dead asleep immediately. He's just out cold.
Oh my God, Lewis! And Tess runs over.
Oh.
What the? Did you
Man.
kill him?
No. Nah, probably not. I don't know. Maybe. Is he breathing?
Apparently, because this is what all of my characters do, I check for breathing.
Yes. Yeah, like Lewis is breathing. He's kind of snoring a little bit. Like he is just very, very, very deeply asleep.
I whip around to Carrot. What did you do?
Oh. Well, is he breathing?
Yes, but what is happening?
Oh, then it was the sleep dust. That's good. All right.
Okay, wake him up then.
No, he's out for a full 8 hours.
8
Excuse me?
hours?
Yeah. It's a proper amount of sleep for a young lad.
I look over at Marigold. Like, can I get a real adult, please? Like,
It's funny you think she's a real adult. But yeah, Marigold looks like so exasperated. Like she just puts her head like in her hands, and like you can see this woman count to 10 before she responds, and she's like, Carrot, you have just incapacitated the person who's been to the church the most, arguably our biggest informational asset.
No!
Great job. Really great job. Wow. I'm so glad I called you in. It's almost like you made everything worse.
You know what, Goldilocks? I'm gonna take the L on this one. That's a my B right there.
I think Lewis took the L on this one.
And no, Lewis took the S. Lewis, I believe, is taking the S at the moment.
There are worse options than the sleep powder.
There are
But
much worse options.
good.
Mothman Jr.
Great.
flies off of Lewis's unconscious body and goes back to your shoulder, Carrot, and he looks very sad and very down on himself, and he just says,
Oh, Moth, he didn't know any better. It's all good. Lad looked like he needed some good shut-eye. Don't you worry about a thing.
The dark bags under Tess's eyes just like take on a persona of their own and glare at you.
I'm so sorry. Would you like a chance at a good 8 hours of sleep?
A chance?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't exactly know all the things Mothy can do. He's still growing into his unique persona, you know?
Oh.
So
Wait. So the moth probably makes you sleep. The ghost is, we think, safe. Some dirt will probably. Is there anything you guys know for sure? Like, are we all just doing one big fucking guessing game here?
Yeah. I mean, when you really think about it, young lad, nothing's really certain. You know, sun might not come up tomorrow, but we carry on.
Marigold just like claps her hands a couple times, and she's like, okay, focus, people. We don't have time for existential dread right now. Carrot, and all of you, here are the facts. As you've probably guessed, Carrot H219 got out. Not my fault, technically, whoops-a-daisy. And it's taken 2 people hostage. You remember how we have it contained, right? I explained to you the containment procedure in the basement with the mirrors.
Antiquated system. Yeah. You explained it to me, Goldilocks.
You watch her eyelid twitch, and she's just like, our plan is to get some holy ground to help bind it in a smaller mirror, recontain it. There's a church down the road, and she claps you on the shoulder, Shawn. Shawn here let an undocumented oddity loose inside, so we have no idea what it is or what it can do, so that's where we're at. I already gave them the ghoul procedure, so at least they have that much.
You all can just throw that right out the bag, right out the window. That ain't gonna help you.
Since his outburst, Shawn has just been pacing around and kind of hearing the stakes put out of it in front of him again. He's calculating. He's taking stock of what's going on, and he's going to ask, so how much dirt do we need? Where do we? Can it just be from outside the church? You want us to trap this thing so it doesn't kill anybody else?
Marigold nods and she says, I guess outside the church would be fine. This isn't really my specialty.
Oh, Marigold. Outside the church, just inside the grounds, is that it? Now, you need to get it from the center of the plot. You want to find, like, as close to the heart of the situation, and that's where you're going to get the best dirt. That's what's going to keep them real tethered, if you know what I mean.
Do we need to do like a ritual cleansing before we enter the Holy of Holies here?
I mean, you could if you want. That's religious mumbo jumbo, you know. That's ain't
It's
got
not
nothing
mumbo
to do.
jumbo. It's just kind of Old Testament.
Like I said, the mumbo jumbo. We're talking about ghosts now. We're talking about like actual like things in the world.
Amy kind of pipes up at this point, and she had gone over with you, Tess, to like help with Lewis, and we'll say you have like an old towel or something like under his head, just so he's not just the cement
on the ground. Yeah, put him in the recovery position. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I know all this first aid? I don't know.
You took a class.
Maybe in a past life. Yes, I took a class from a nice nurse named Jill.
Aww. But Amy pipes up and she says, that's all simple and everything, but like Shawn threw a doll in the fucking church. So like what, Shawn, was it a ghost? Was it a demon? Was it like what was it? Because we got to go deal with that if it's still there.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely there. I mean, until recently, it was the scariest thing I ever saw, but...
So, like, things that would be helpful, like, at general age, you know? Was it a kid? Was it an old person? You know, something like that. We're also looking for, like, was it angry? Did you hear laughter? Was it like the ha-ha kind of laughter, or was it like the ha-ha kind of laughter, you know?
Or the ho-ho-ho.
Or, yeah, or that.
I didn't get a good look at the ghost or the cryptid or the H269 or whatever you want to call it, but
Nice.
when it was a doll, it was like a little kid, and it just had the one leg, and when we were at the church taking the pictures, I like heard it shuffle, and I saw the shadows, and
one leg.
and that's when we left. I didn't realize I was supposed to be gathering information for a future ghost hunt or anything. So,
Question: would Lewis have any pictures of this thing? Because wasn't he doing a study of the church?
So, Tess, you would remember in the dark room when you were helping Lewis earlier.
Yeah.
You saw, like, he had some pictures, like, set aside, and you remember seeing, like, a shadowy, like, figure in, like, the back corner. But Lewis's camera and all his pictures are still in the house. So if you would like to go back inside and look at them,
no, thank
please
you.
feel free.
Gosh. Okay.
And Amy pipes up again and she says, okay, look, like, Lewis knew the most about the church, but he never went there by himself, right? Like, one of us has to remember something that's helpful. Like, Shawn, you heard scuffling or whatever, and Tess, you weren't home, but... And you see her trail off, and she was, like, looking down, thinking, and she snaps her head and looks at you, and she looks kind of panicked, and she said, guys, did Theo go with Lewis to the church? Did Theo go? Because I can't remember if he did. And at that, Marigold looks equally as panicked. Because you would all remember that when H219 feeds on its victims, you stop remembering things about them.
I don't remember either. Shawn, do you remember?
Hey, Shawn.
He-
If you would like to try to remember your friend Theo, I need you to make me 2 pulls.
Oh, there it is.
Sorry.
That's very good.
Memory ghosts are lots of fun. It's a fresh tower.
I mean,
Yeah, thanks to our good
kinda.
friend Theo. The tower is fresh, so
Yeah,
there we
I-
go.
You must pull in his memory.
your good friend who? I'm sorry, who is that? Excellent. Beautiful.
Hurrah.
Thank you very much, Shawn. So, yeah, like you think about it and like you all stop and think about it and like you saw Theo like maybe 20 minutes ago. Like you haven't been out of the house that long, but as you try to remember, things seem a little fuzzy. Not everything. It's not nearly as bad as Claudia, but Shawn, what did Theo name that game you guys were testing earlier? You just came up with the name today. Was it Blood and Guts? Blood and Boards? Did Theo go to the church? He must have, probably. It's not everything. It's just the little things. But your memories of Theo, and by implication, Theo himself, they are fading, and they're fading fast. And Marigold sees this look on all of your faces as you share this arguably horrifying realization, and she goes back over to the table where her laptop is set up, and it's still open to those charts, those like energy readings from H219. And like a live feed, you all see that line, that energy reading tick up. And after a couple more seconds, it ticks up again.
We don't have any more time to waste.
Yeah, but how do we stop it? Do we need to sprinkle some of that dust in our brains, or it's eating our friends? Like, how do we stop it?
Marigold's like, okay, no one panic. This is why we follow procedure. On your leaflets, the first step, gather supplies. Here, we don't have much, but here's what we got. And she gestures to the table where all of the items from her go bag are lying still. And as a reminder, Tess, you have your ring light. There are EMF detectors, a wind-up flashlight, a first aid kit, a metal bracelet identical to Amy's, a small bag of metal shavings, a pair of gloves, and an unopened bag of cat treats. Carrot, when Mothman Jr. sees cat treats, it fucking like tugs on your ear and like points at the cat treats and like tugs on your ear.
I know, Mothy, I know. Don't worry. You're going to get a good treat for this.
So most of this is pretty self-explanatory. This bracelet, and Amy's like, oh, this is a protection thing, or like catch a ghost. And she takes the bracelet off her own wrist, and she stretches it out, and it like widens almost like a collapsible hula hoop until it's about like as wide to like hold like a small adult. And she's like, so like if a ghost is coming at you, and she like throws it on the ground and like steps into it, and she like takes a minute, and she's just like, ta-da.
The circle of trust.
It's your circle of sea bear protection, that is.
Cool. So, I would like one of those.
Okay, so Tess, you're taking the bracelet. Please also like write this down and keep a personal inventory, because I will not remember what you have.
Okay.
Shawn gestures to the table and points to the jar of the shavings. He's like, "This is the magic ghost dust, right? It deters them or whatever. I can take this."
This is a significantly smaller bag than the one Marigold had in her suitcase, so it probably won't be enough to get around the whole like church building, but it'll probably be enough to cover like a small room, maybe.
Okay, it's a start.
You could also throw it up in the air and like don't breathe it. That's dangerous. But you could throw it up in the air if a ghost is coming at you, and it's like a smoke screen to them.
Whoa, for real? That's radical.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. They can't see through it, and they can't get through it. It lasts like 3 seconds, maybe, but that's enough time to get you a chance to leg it on out of there.
So as you are having this conversation, Marigold takes one of the EMF detectors for herself. Who wants the flashlight? Just going down the list.
I mean, I have my own flashlight. I'm all
Yeah, I've
right.
got my ring light.
Yeah.
I'll take the flashlight.
All right, you have a
Light
crank
is good.
flashlight. Tess has a metal bracelet. Shawn has a metal shavings. The gloves, Marigold kind of holds up and puts one on. And surprising no one, the blue gem on the back kind of starts to glow, and all of those like runes do as well. And she explains, so these are a prototype, but they will allow you to touch oddities that are usually incorporeal.
You're saying I can punch this ghost right in the mouth?
And Amy's like, hell yeah, you can.
Sure. I'll take a glove.
Yeah. Yeah, Marigold hands you the gloves. And the only thing left on the table is the cat treats. And Mothman Jr. is like hopping on your shoulder now, Carrot. He's like,
Morphe, go get him. Go get him. Those are for us.
and like you watch this moth with kind of terrifying speed like zip on over, and it's just like, you know, in like the old cartoons there's just a fucking dust cloud, and then like
Now
that's
it's a
it.
literal
You see
dust cloud.
the entire bag is gone. There's like 2 scraps of like plastic left. That's it.
Oh.
And Mothman Jr. looks so delighted to be alive.
I guess I should ask, are we all going to be going to the church? Like, Amy, you're okay coming to the church? Goldilocks, you're coming too?
Tess looks back at Lewis, still asleep on the ground.
And before, like, Amy opens her mouth to say something, and her mom just, like, immediately is like, Amy is staying here with Lewis, and Amy interrupts her, and she's like, no, I'm not. I'm coming. And Marigold says, Amy, this is not up for discussion. It is dangerous. We don't know what this thing can do, and, honey, I love you, but you are hardly what I would call cautious, and when dealing with oddities... No, Mom, I'm coming. I'm not some 12-year-old kid anymore. You were the one who made me keep all the orc stuff secret from everybody, but I'm the one who fucked everything up. And
Amy, Goldilocks, both of you. I believe what your mom is trying to say is that your friend there on the ground is very vulnerable thanks to old Mothy right here. And so...
And the only reason he's lying there is my fucking fault in the first place. So I'm going to fix it.
Yes, Amy, I understand. I understand where your heart is, and I appreciate that. But someone needs to stay here and make sure that the ghosty in the basement doesn't come up in here and take this one too. We can't have that. We need someone that we can trust who understands ghosts and understands the orcs thing, which isn't these two. They're civvies. You know? We can't.
Hey.
So I think we need you here so that you can, you know, protect your friend.
Amy, like, indignantly opens her mouth to, like, try to argue again, but Marigold cuts her off. She says, Carrot is right, so tell you what, let's compromise, like my therapist keeps recommending I try to do. Amy, you're not coming to the church. Don't make that face. You're not coming to the church, but since we know more or less of what to expect from H219, I guess you can help us contain it and come to the basement with us when we're done. Does that sound fair? And Amy looks very crestfallen and just says, fine.
And Carrot would go over to Amy and I say, you did well. You know, you got to pick your fights. Also, you can have the run of my van until we get back. There's some really cool stuff in there about ghosts. So just go fucking wild. All right?
Like, almost as fast as Mothman Jr. ate those cat treats, she is in your car. Like, she is just in it. She's, like, running around. You hear something fall. You hear something shatter on the ground.
I guess it's fine that she just abandoned her friend there on the ground.
He's in dreamland. Don't worry about it.
I guess I would pick up Lewis and put him in the van so that the ghost does not eat him.
You go in. There's some shit destroyed. Don't worry about it.
I'm not. It's fine. We will rebuild.
It's fine. But yeah, you and Amy, since she's there, will like situate Lewis in like your like bed, I guess, because you probably have like a pull-out something in the van.
Yeah.
And Marigold gives you just the like, we will talk about this, like mama look, and turns to the rest of you and says, well, lead the way, Shawn. So you all head towards the church. It's fairly late at this point, and most of the houses that you pass are dark. Every window you pass is a reflective black sheet, and each of you shudders a little to think about how easy it would be for H219 to travel if it got out of your house. So, Shawn, tell me about the night the church burned down, and like tell me about Shadow. Like, where did you throw it? Like, just walk me through this.
Yeah.
This cool decision that you made, and that it is to note, everyone needs to know that you wrote this in your character sheet. Like, this is 100% your fault, not mine. So own your sin. What did you do?
You asked for it. I forget the exact question, but you wanted me to steal and destroy something.
The question was, what was the weirdest thing Amy brought home from the thrift store, and what did you do with it? And you're like, here's a haunted doll that I definitely burned in a church. Like, I don't know what I was expecting from that answer. It was not the gift that you have given me today.
To be clear, the burning church came from you. I just put these two things together.
Jacob, I love the extra, like, not just mile, I think the extra like half marathon you've done with that question.
At least the extra session, because I
extra
feel like we would have moved on by now. So Shadow, as we've established, is this creepy as hell haunted doll that Amy brought into our house without permission. It's got a porcelain head and like hands, but the insides are like soft and floppy. Wearing this weird bonnet. Its head is like disproportioned to its body. It's like too small, but also too long. It's a truly terrifying doll. There will be pictures, I'm sure. Tune into the breakfast, and we'll tell you where the pictures are.
I hate this.
And as we've established, missing one leg, clearly from a horrific ghost creating accident.
Ghost creating accident.
I don't know how ghosts work, but anyway, this clearly haunted doll came into our house. Amy's apartment is directly above ours, and despite my best effort, she took it up there, but I could just feel it like watching me when I was trying to sleep, and it was not okay. So when the church caught on fire and everyone seemed let's say distracted, looking at all the activity with the
Jacob,
fire department
when you say
and
it
everything.
like that, it makes it sound like you caused the church fire to satisfy your own twisted end.
As we established, Marissa established the church fire before I even knew the strut existed. So there's no way on earth Shawn could be responsible for this fire.
Okay.
He has an alibi, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. I did not exist before the church was on fire, so. But anyway, everyone was busy. This doll had to be out of our life, and the church was burning, supposedly releasing or creating good vapors, and we had this doll with some sort of bad juju or vapors, so the doll had to go, and there was an opportunity, and the doll found its way into the fire, and you know what? The ghost wasn't in my house anymore, so it worked out well.
That is some astounding logic there. I love it. I love it so much.
Gosh.
So, Shawn, you are reflecting back on these choices, decisions, actions, felonies, and
I see no crime.
theft at the minimum.
Destruction of someone else's property.
General mischief, at least.
You know, are just reflecting on this, and you walk the half mile down the road, and tucked at the end of it sits the charred husk of this church. All of the walls are still standing, albeit blackened and marred by flames. Some, but not all, of the stained glass windows have been boarded up, and the large entrance doors have been padlocked shut. Marigold gets to the front doors, and she kind of like picks up the padlock and tries it, and it's locked, and she says, I thought Lewis took pictures here. How did he get in?
The doors, they weren't a problem before. Somebody knew how to open them, I think.
Hey, Shawn, make me 2 pulls, please.
Oh, no.
Thank you for playing in my narrative space, but you cannot escape the tower. It requires sacrifice.
If anybody else wants to do something that would require a pull, feel free.
Sorry, I imagine we'll get there eventually.
All right, I've done it.
Yeah, thank you, Shawn. It's weird because, like you said, like it wasn't a problem before. Like this had never been something that you thought about. It almost doesn't come to you. But then you remember Theo picking the lock to Amy's apartment. Theo was the one who picked the lock for Lewis. And you're trying to grasp at a thread that is rapidly fraying in your hands, but you do manage to hold on to that memory.
Oh, we just need to break in.
Oh, just some minor felonies.
Why not?
Yeah, no, we've established that. The question on the table is how.
Oh, Mothy has got it. Mothy?
Okay, are
What's
we
he
doing
gonna put
this?
the lock to sleep?
All right, yeah. Mothman Jr., like fresh, he flies a little slower because he has a very full tummy. But he will fly on over to the padlock and do a little sneeze on it. Fob, I need you to roll me a d6.
I rolled a 5.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you
I'm really
fucking
excited
kidding
about
me
it.
right now?
What does it mean?
You
What's a 5?
lucky son of a bitch. For real?
For real.
Fucking real?
What
Yeah.
does this do?
I would like everyone to know at home, Marissa and I came up with 6 things
Oh
that
my
happened,
God.
and
Oh my
I don't know what
God.
order she put them in. All I know is that I just rolled a 5 and now Marissa's freaking the fuck out, which is great. I
Oh
assume.
my god.
I don't think one of this. I did forget what some of the 6 things are, so one of them could be a portal to hell. And if that's the one that it is, that'd be really funny right now.
Oh,
And
my fucking
podcast
God.
over.
Oh, man. Well, miraculously, Mothman Jr. sneezes and his dust goes on the lock. And there's like a second where nothing happens and you think you may have rolled a number 4, which is nothing. But instead you rolled number 5, which means Mothman Jr. telepathically breaks an object he is near, so the padlock just clinks open and falls to the ground.
Yes.
Fucking congratulations. You solved my really cool church puzzle. Are you happy? Are you proud of yourself?
Yes. Thank you.
Damn it. Wow.
So good. Oh,
Well
so
done.
good.
He's earning his traits, he is.
All hail the Mothman.
Mothman, triumphant, a little cocky even, flies over to your shoulder, kind of dusts off his wings, feeling pretty good about himself. God damn it. So the doors are open. Wow.
Tess turns on her ring light.
I think we all have our flashlights out and ready to go.
Yeah, Shawn has been cranking his light up just the whole walk over. He is fully shifted from flight to fight. Like, we gotta get this
Yeah.
thing out of my head. So
Hell yeah.
here we go. I guess I've got the punching gloves. So if I see the ghost, I'll punch it in the face. You guys get a scoop of dirt and let's get in, get out, and get going, guys.
Now, Shawn, I just want to say that we don't need to resort to violence right away. We don't know anything about this ghosty. The one in the house, I grant you that, seems a bit sus. But this one could be very friendly, you just don't know. So I would advise you.
No, I
not-
know. He was haunting my dreams for weeks. And if I get the chance, I'm going to punch him in the mouth.
Well, and how long ago was that he was in your dreams haunting them?
What did we establish? This was what?
A year ago-ish.
Okay.
So this thing has had a year of like
Yeah.
Free reign.
Having been burnt and now in the oh no, I don't. Something tells me that this thing is not gonna be our friend.
Shawn, you burst into this church. Carrot, you're swiftly behind him, and then Tess, and then Marigold. Inside, soot stains the walls, stretching down from the ceiling like creeping fingers on each of them. Above you, the roof is cracked open to offer a splintered view of the sky. The rain has mostly stopped by this point, but water still drips down from mangled rafters. The interior has been partially gutted. Most of the important artifacts that weren't extremely damaged by the flames, like those have been removed, and whatever wasn't taken away by the fire department, looters and hoodlums have long since claimed. What's left are about half the pews in various states of disrepair. A cluster of empty beer bottles is arranged in some sort of pyramid near the cracked central altar. Colored remnants of stained glass clings stubbornly to empty window panes. Some of the shattered pieces are lying on the floor, and as you all shine your lights across them, they cast prismatic patterns across the floor. The floor itself, important to note, is kind of fucked also. Like, there had been tile, but there are places where that has been ripped up, leaving the ground exposed. And you all have this distinct feeling, not of being watched, it's more than that. You feel seen. Like something not only knows you're here, but also knows that at least some of you are terrified. We'll say you all make it about like 15 steps into the church, and your footsteps echo, but they echo strangely. So it feels very uncanny in here.
Not as choir-esque as it might have been.
So there are no harmonies here. But once you get that far in, Marigold's EMF detector goes off the fucking charts. Everything lights up at once. It starts flashing, and Tess, you haven't been in the church before, but you recognize it from Lewis's pictures that you saw downstairs.
Yes.
And you remember that back right corner is where that picture was with the shadowy statue. And Tess, you look, there is nothing there. You just see a blank wall.
Oh, cool and good. Yes.
And you all also hear a creak and then a low but emphatic thump as the doors to the church, as if on their own, slam shut behind you. And perhaps more disturbingly, you hear a metallic clinking of a chain tangling itself shut from the outside.
Cool. No doubt.
All right, nobody panic. That doesn't mean anything yet. Maybe they're lonely. You know, that is what
because
we need to do.
when I'm lonely and my friends come over, my first thought is, oh yes, let me chain them in so they can't leave. That's what a good friendly person does. Totally.
And in front of you, Tess, Marigold, like, you see her take out like almost like a field notebook and pencil, and she starts jotting down some notes, and she's like, okay, so we know that it's capable of some degree of telekinetic manipulation. Great job, team. We know one more thing.
Shawn has dropped his flashlight and is putting on his magical ghost punching gloves.
Yeah, so Shawn, you don't even set it on the floor. You just drop it, and the plastic clatters onto this like old tile and dirt. And as you're pulling on your gloves, you all hear a giggle.
No!
It's coming from that corner, echoing strangely in those acoustics. And Shawn, your flashlight on the ground, and Tess, your ring light, and the lights on Marigold's EMF detector, they all flicker. Tess, yours goes off entirely for a moment, but just a moment, and it comes back on. But all of your lights seem a little bit dimmer than they were just a moment ago.
Awesome. I mean, I bought this thing on Amazon. It's probably like just really cheap, right? Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Mine's an industrial strength flashlight.
Yeah, yours is dimmer also, Carrot. It's very weird.
Fuck. Marigold, write this down. Write light shit.
Shawn, you're in the front. As you're standing there, you hear that giggle again, and just out of the corner of your eye, you see and hear something skittering. But
Oh, no.
you can't actually get a good look at it. Like, for a second, you think it might just be like a smudge on like the lens of your glasses, but no, this is something else. You turn your head to try to follow it, but this thing stays always just at the extreme edge of your vision, skirting around the edges, just out of sight. You can't see it, but behind you, you hear a voice say, "Hello, Shawn." Make me a pull, please.
All right, we'll do this.
This is horrifying. Also, the word skitters was a really good choice, and I hate it.
Thank you.
It is done.
Excellent. So, Shawn, you whirl around towards this voice, and beside you, Marigold and Carrot and Tess, all of you do as well. And Shawn, in that split second, you are able to make out this gangly humanoid form, but again, you don't get a chance to really make it out because out of nowhere, this figure seems to summon this orb of light that appears in front of you and quickly bursts like a firework flash, blinding all of you for an instant.
Oh no.
Shawn, you stagger back and your heel catches on your flashlight that you had on the ground, but you're able to keep your footing. Tess and Carrot, you and Marigold are also stunned for just a second, and you all have to blink away the after image of this light. Like, it's like when you accidentally look into the sun, like your vision is stained with that spotty smear.
I would like to swing at roughly the lower part of the head section of where I saw this ghost.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I think you have to make a pull for that though, right?
This is
Damn,
happening.
Jacob.
I'm gonna punch it in the mouth.
Okay, I have like an instant idea, right? Okay, so like a flash of light was the thing that helped us battle the thing at the house, and so like now I'm thinking that maybe Carrot wasn't as crazy, and like if we can convince this thing to be on our side, like this might be a good.
Almost like I know what I'm talking about. Almost
And
like
I
I've been
hate
doing
that.
this for
Tess
years,
hates
isn't it?
that. Tess hates this so much.
Well, Shawn's punching it,
Shawn
so
has not thought
I
of
think
this.
I would
Shawn
be like,
is,
wait, Shawn, as he's like,
Shawn is already swung.
So, yeah, Shawn, you swing at where this thing, where Shadow was, and it still kind of like is almost like a shadow, aptly named, and you swing, but you go through empty air, and instead, like, there were these like tiny motes of light, almost like fireflies left over from this light burst, and you just passed through them, and Shadow wasn't standing there. And from the opposite corner of the room, you hear that voice again. Oops. Sorry, I'm a little out of practice with that. I didn't mean to blind you so bad. But that's very rude, Shawn. What did I ever do to you?
Hey, yes, Shawn. Shawn, remember what I said. We don't swing until they give us a reason.
How about locking us in this friggin' church? And I'm gonna reach into my pocket for a handful of my ghost sand and throw it
Shawn,
at the direction of where I heard this voice coming from.
okay. I think Tess would like see him reaching for this, and like she knows that this is like a limited resource, and so she would just like be like, Shawn, hold on, and like put her hands up and try and like get him to stop.
What do you want now?
I'm just okay. I know like this thing is scary as fuck, but like remember like flashes of light were the way to deal with the ghost at home. So don't provoke this thing because it could be useful to us.
I mean, it's kind of provoking me right now.
Yeah, okay, but I know, but just like chill for a second, okay? Everyone here wants you to not do that thing, so maybe you should not do that thing.
I mean, has anybody tried to scoop up some dirt yet, by the way? Let's get the dirt and get out of here.
Goldilocks.
Yeah, Marigold has been taking notes, and she looks up at you, and it just looks so fucking irritated. She's like looks at her notebook and looks at you, and then shoves the notebook in your hand and starts to like fish around in I guess in her like pocket, because she just has a pocket shovel now.
Who did she get upset at?
Carrot, sorry.
Okay.
What do her notes say?
Her notes are very disjointed. It's like oddity, H question mark, the H is underlined, the C is crossed out, teleportation question mark, light manipulation underlined twice, hostile question mark, lonely question mark, like ramblings about what the fuck this thing is.
I'm gonna go ahead and cross out hostile. That's not this beastie.
But so Marigold is fishing for her pocket shovel, which apparently is just standard issue with all ORCS employees. You're welcome for that, Fub. And as you're standing there, just like before, Tess, your ring light flickers, and Shawn, your flashlight flickers, and all of your lights get a little bit dimmer than before, almost like something is sucking it up.
I would like to click my flashlight off. Okay,
you do. Your flashlight is now off. And not from the corner that you heard the giggle before, again, there's that like skittering, and it's unsettling, right? Because you don't actually see it move. And from maybe like 10 feet closer to you, you hear Shadow again.
I didn't mean to scare you, Shawn, but the last time you were here, you just ran away. I didn't even get to say hi. You were with the camera boy. Oh, where is he? He's very fun to scare.
Oh my.
Yeah. Lewis is not here, so you can't get to him right now. We just need some dirt. You just leave us alone and let us go. I won't come at you again.
Can I tell if is this thing like genuinely interested in us, or is it trying to just like is it playing with us, or is it trying to harm us?
If you want to do a vibe check, you would have to make me a pull for that.
Okay.
What if instead you did a dirt check?
I think Marigold is working with that.
Yeah, Marigold has at this point the patch of dirt that is the most like accessible is like a little bit deeper into the church, like kind of in, as Carrot said, like in the middle. So she is taking some cautious steps that way.
Okay, I've made a pull.
Thank you very much, Tess. You can read people pretty well, you know, and Shadow isn't a person, but like this doesn't seem like a joke. Like it seems genuinely interested in you all. It doesn't seem outwardly hostile yet.
Okay. How interact with a weird ghost? Okay. Tess would like put on an air of actually being like, she's trying very hard to cover up the fact that she's absolutely terrified of this thing, but like I'm gonna pretend like, okay, I'm just like gathering myself and just like gonna like walk up to it and just kind of like lean into its line of vision.
Yeah, so you do, and as you get close to it, you kind of start smelling like this weird combination of lavender and garlic, like fresh garlic. What? For some reason. Do you say anything to Shadow? Or are you just like walking up like, hey?
Hey there, friend.
Tess,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
polite to introduce yourself.
Okay. Hey, friend. My name is Tess. What is yours?
And again, like you see it skitter a little bit, and it was like in front of you, and now it's like right by like your right ear.
Cool.
Oh.
Tess, I remember you. You
Do you?
laughed at me
I laughed at you.
In the house, and it has moved to like your left ear now, like very close to you. If this thing had breath, you could feel it like on your neck.
Oh, I don't like that.
Well, that's because I was so delighted with you.
Delighted. Didn't seem like what it was. It was like you, and the bright-haired person thought I was a joke.
While Tess is deploying this brilliant distraction, I would like to try to ascertain more specifically the location of this creature.
Yes. Okay.
This can be happening in the background.
I think Carrot has taken kind of a step back and is allowing two new beautiful soon-to-be ORCS agents
Fucking amazing. Fucking
get their
incredible.
own first-hand experience.
And Carrot, you do. So we'll say you're like back closer to Marigold, and like she's on the ground and she's digging with her little standard issue shovel, and she like stops and like kind of looks up at you, and she's like, "Do you have like a jar, like a bag? Like I don't have a. Where am I putting this? And also, why aren't you taking notes? This is good information."
You don't have your standard issue mason jar?
No, it was in my go bag, and Amy threw all the dirt in the basement. Give me yours.
Marigold, I don't keep anything that's standard issue.
God damn it.
It's okay. I have this little plastic baggie. It takes up so much less space but can hold the same volume.
It doesn't have the logo on. Whatever.
Marigold, need I remind you, we are a secret clandestine organization.
Yeah, that like brands all of its lab equipment.
We don't, I know that the heads of the organization right now are really trying to PR blast to do an ad campaign, but I really do think that is just the most head up ass kind of thing to do at the moment.
Okay, so while this exchange is happening, Carrot, you help Marigold scoop some dirt into this bag. Shawn, it's like, on like a really, really hot day when there's like those heat waves on asphalt, like you can see it, but it's not quite there. It's that general vibe. Like you can see like this very gangly, it almost looks like a spider if a spider was anthropomorphized, but in heat wave form. So it has like two long heat wave appendages that might be legs and like kind of a bulbous head-shaped torso kind of thing, and like gangly arms, but like you can't really make it out. And Shadow, it almost like as it turns around, it disappears, and you hear it behind you now. Shawn, it's so nice of you to bring friends this time, but that one was mean. Where's the other one? The one who took me from the store, the one who brought me to the house and wouldn't let me out of the doll. I would like to kill that one.
Oh no, I have miscalculated.
I would like to cut in there because I just heard a word that is bad. And I would excuse me there, Shadow, is it?
And this thing, again, conjures this ball of light in the middle of all of you, and it explodes out in this blinding flash.
I would know to cover my eyes this time.
Yeah, I would try to cover my eyes like when I see it starting to like conjure it.
Make me a pull.
Okay. I will make a pull.
Do all of us have to make a pull?
No, just Tess to see if she can like get the words out in time for you to react to it, I think, is how we'll justify that.
And
excellent.
It stands.
Nice.
Excellent. Beautifully done.
Cover your eyes.
You are able to shout this, and Carrot, Marigold just kind of ducks down like into the floor, almost like in like the tornado preparedness position. And Shawn and Tess and Carrot, you're able to shield your eyes so it doesn't blind you, but your eyes are closed for a couple seconds. So when you open them, you don't see Shadow. You kind of lost track of him for a second. And again, your lights dim. They're about maybe as a third of the brightness as they once were.
So that's a very fun trick. I hope I didn't offend you. My name is Carrot.
I don't really care who you are, but you are not allowed to take my property. Shawn gave me a beautiful new home. Isn't it stunning? This place is mine, and you can't take any of it. Please put the ground back.
Again, during this brilliant and wonderful distraction, I would like to try to ascertain the specific position of the ghost so as to take action once I do.
Does Tess notice him doing this?
Yeah, we'll say yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, Jacob, since you already have done this, you're kind of getting better at pinpointing where it is, and you can see it's kind of by that front altar where the those glass bottles are. And as Shadow is talking about, this is mine, you see those bottles start to shake a little bit. They're quivering.
I try to make eye contact with Carrot and give him the keep talking kind of motion, like keep him distracted.
I want to sneak closer to Shawn, because if he's got eyes on it, I want to give him the bracelet to maybe contain it.
I like that.
All right. Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to offend. I did just hear you say that you wanted to kill someone. That doesn't seem very nice.
Kill might have been a bit hyperbolic.
Garrett, maybe we don't talk about killing.
I tried to ask her to let me out of the doll, and she said no. It was upsetting. But then Shawn let me out. In the fire, I was free, and I'm so grateful. But the other one was very rude. I don't like her at all.
Shadow's voice isn't angry necessarily, but the bottles are shaking more intensely, and you see them crack. One of them cracks completely in half, and creating this jagged, wicked point. Marigold, for the record, is about a third of the way done filling this bag. It is hard packed earth under tile. It's not easy to just scoop it up like potting soil. She has to dig at it and scratch at it. So it's taking her a little bit longer than any of you would probably have liked. Shawn and Tess. We will say that, Tess, you are within an arm's reach of Shawn. Shawn, if Shadow's at the front, you are we'll say you're creeping along that side wall.
Okay, I would reach out and slide the bracelet off of my wrist and hold it out to him and kind of look from the bracelet to generally where it seems the ghost is, and look back and then look at him and kind of goad him on a little bit.
I'll nod and continue to inch forward. Am I maybe within sand throwing distance of the ghost yet?
You are within sand throwing distance. You are not within punching distance.
Okay. I would like to throw a handful of my magical ghost dust and lunge at him with my magic ghost gloves and try to grab it, preferably around the throat.
Dang! Okay, make me a pull though.
Wait, did you take the bracelet?
No, I looked at you and nodded. I think Shawn's hope is that he's gonna grab it and you're gonna help bind it up or something.
Ah, crap.
Okay.
Tess wanted you to do it. I guess it makes sense that our communication would be off a little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
All right. Okay. Shawn, you are able to throw these a fistful of iron shavings, and we'll say that's about most of what was in the bag because it was very small, and you have the perfect arc. It lands right where Shadow was standing, and you hear Shadow. It doesn't scream, but it's about the closest thing to a scream as it gets. But you do hit it, and you watch as it simultaneously tries to turn away to try to skitter again, and it also is going to manifest another burst of light directly in your fucking face. I need you to make me another pull if you want to punch it, because there's a star exploding in your fucking head.
To clarify, I would not like to punch it. I would like to grab it.
It's more of a strangle motion.
It's interesting because it has a very not existent neck. It's there, but it's kind of chunk. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, holy shit, Shawn. It's turning. So you don't grab it by the neck, but you grab it by the upper shoulder, and the gloves, they feel a little warm on your hand, but they bite down onto Shadow, and you have a hold of this thing.
Tess lunges forward with the bracelet and stretching as she lunges to put
Make
it
me
around
pull.
it. Okay.
Oh man, y'all.
I am proud of my 2 junior agents right here. They are coordinating an offensive.
Yeah, we're gonna need to talk about benefits and potentially a raise when this is over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're unemployed. Tess, would you like a job?
Let's see how this goes first. Okay.
Tess, you are able to lunge forward with this magic hula hoop orcs bullshit, and together the two of you get this hula hoop around it. And you both kind of like back up really fast towards Carrot and Marigold in the center of the church, and you see Shadow. It puts out one of these like gangly, not quite there appendages, and it's like it's pressing up against a barrier. It can't get out of the ring.
Hell yeah, this is the spookiest mime show ever.
Your lights flicker again, and this time they go dark completely. Wherever Shadow is storing this power, this light, it has all of it right now. And the bottles near the altar begin to rattle, and all of them crack. Marigold is frantically digging at this dirt. She almost has the bag full. And Shadow is looking right at you, Shawn. And Shadow says,
That was not very nice. I thought we were friends.
Suddenly, there's a flash of light again at all of you. And you're a little more prepared for it this time. So you're all able to shield your eyes from this bright flash. And Shawn, because you're prepared, you're also able to see that as Shadow lets loose this orb, it also launches two of the broken beer bottles in your direction, flying right at you. I need you to make me a pull.
I will do this because I do not want to be impaled.
Yeah. Oh,
Occupational hazard, you know?
An occupational how is the orcs insurance?
Oh
no, that's
we have officially entered scary tower zone.
Shawn, your body moves on instinct. You dive out of the way of this projectile. One of those two bottles clatters onto the ground, skidding across the floor, and the other flies through the spot where you had been and instead strikes Marigold. The ragged edge bites deep into her upper leg, and you hear her cry out, and if she hadn't already been on the ground, she would be.
Fuck.
Okay, we have a first aid kit at the house or here with us. I don't know.
No, none of you took it. I believe it's still at the house, Amy.
Frick. Okay, can we? How much like dirt can we like escape? Essentially, like it's time to go.
It's like 3/4 of the way full. Like you have enough dirt.
Okay,
Shadow
time
is
to go.
in this ring, and Shadow is like pounding against the barrier, and the bottles on the ground start to like angle towards all of you, and Shadow is saying,
I don't want to be trapped anymore, Shawn. Please let me out. Please let me out.
Shawn, you should tell him you'll let him out under one condition.
What would that be?
I mean, you could set a couple of them, but like at least us getting out of here in one
I don't know
piece
if I trust
would be nice.
this thing.
I will say you have like maybe like 5 seconds to act before these things launch at you again.
Leaving is the way
Yeah,
to
no,
go.
he just tried to get me to kill me with some glass, so I would like to leave, please. Are we good to go? Let's go. Bye.
Just point of order, everyone. We don't have an exit. Our door is a bit locked.
Frick. Oh, I forgot.
So you might want to...
There, by law, has to be at least one other fire exit. So I will scan the room for that.
Can we like bust out of one of those windows? Like,
Yeah, there are empty window panes.
cool. I grab the jar of dirt and like just to make sure we have it and like start heading towards one of those windows.
Okay, Shawn, Carrot. Marigold is still like on the ground, like it hit her upper thigh, so like it is gushing blood, and like
All right,
she is
so
like
I have a bandana and I'm tying it around tightly, tourniquet style, and then I'm gonna just fireman carry Goldilocks out of here.
Okay, that is going to take long enough that Shadow will be able to get these beer bottles off at you again. I need one of you to make me a pull.
I'm got it. I do wish we were letting Shadow go conditionally, but I understand.
If you want to
can come
hang
back
out,
and do whatever you want.
if you want to hang out and barter with
Beans.
this thing,
All right.
be my guest.
Okay. So yeah, so in that instance where Carrot, you hit the deck to try to get Marigold up, and Tess, you are running from the door. Shawn, it sounds like you are as well. Shadow is able to launch a couple more of these glass shards at you. But Carrot, you are able to deflect them. Like, you have your industrial flashlight, so you just kind of like in one arc with your arm just bat these things out of the air because you have gone under the ORCS employee training program.
This is an accurate statement.
So you knock them away. You are able to like lift Marigold like over your shoulder. She is swearing and like this thing has cut her deeply. And you all run towards one of these windows. It is like a couple feet off the ground. So y'all can
Not
jump.
good.
Is there a pew nearby that we could like push?
Yeah, there's a pile of broken pews.
All right, you two, I've got Goldilocks. You two move the pew.
Let's go.
Hey,
As you are doing this, you are pushing the pew towards this window. It takes you a couple seconds, and Shadow is still yelling at you, Shawn. But the beer bottles that had been hanging in the air, there were a couple left, clattered to the ground, and Shadow kind of changes this tune a bit. He says,
Shawn, I'm sorry. Shawn, I'm sorry. Please take this away. I don't want to be trapped anymore.
this is the hallmark of an abusive
please come back.
relationship. We still need to get out of here. This is love bombing. Let's go.
Yeah, no, we gotta go. Maybe later. Some of these ORCS guys will come find you a new home. Bye.
Shawn, I can't help but notice that you are making this whole situation a bit worse with your oversharing.
by this point, you are able to move the pews underneath this window. It has some like broken glass still clinging to the panes. But Shawn, Tess, what are you doing?
Climbing.
Yep, out the window, please.
Okay. Tess, you are able to kind of hoist yourself onto this pews. You get a couple splinters on the palms of your hands, but you don't care.
Nope.
You lift yourself onto the stone window ledge and you shimmy between these broken glass shards. It's a bit of a jump to the ground, but not too terribly high. You're able to tuck and roll and you hit the ground. Shawn, as you are climbing out, you are halfway through the window when Shadow unleashes the final mote of light. So it's right in your face as you're trying to climb out of the window. I need you to make me a pull. I'm so sorry.
Dangerous
I feel
light.
so bad. You made him
Stop
very angry,
apologizing.
and I'm very sorry. Okay.
Okay.
So you get the sense of what this looks like now. There's like a rush and like a pop of air when this happens. So you're able to just keep moving through it, and you close your eyes and you somersault over and you land on the ground in front of Tess. Carrot, you are carrying Marigold through?
No. That's a recipe for blood.
So you're leaving her.
No, not gonna do that either. I would like to turn to the ghost.
Okay. Marigold kind of senses you pause, and through like a clenched jaw, she's like,
"Get out!"
Marigold,
it's not the fucking time.
you're gonna get ripped up if I try to shimmy you through this window. Neither of those kids can hold you. Like,
Are you
this
fucking
is,
calling me fat right now? Are you fucking calling me?
no.
Hearing this conversation that they're not coming through the window, I would like to head to the door to try to open the door-shaped exit.
Ooh, good
Hell
call.
yeah, go for it.
I will stay by the window to assist if I can, I guess.
Hello, Ghosty. You seem pretty upset. Don't know if you noticed, but it's just the two of us in here, and you. And I seem to be the only one that's in a position now to let you go.
When you say you seem pretty upset, you see one of the glass shards just like crush itself into dust as you say
I
that.
understand. So, I have a proposition for you, if you would be so kind as to indulge me.
What would you like from me?
I would like for me and my friend here to be able to walk out those doors tonight in preferably the next minute or two. And in exchange, I agree to take away that barrier from you. You were causing no one any harm in here until we came in. I trust that you will go back to doing your own thing.
I would like Both barriers removed, please. This place is sacred ground. Shawn freed me from the doll, but I can't leave. I would very much like to leave the grounds.
That's fair, that is. Problem is going to take me more than one night to take away the sanctity of this ground here.
It depends on how determined you are.
That's fair.
I mean, touche.
I can take away the metal loop that you find yourself trapped in right now. And I promise to get scouts on it, come back, and help you get out of here at a later time. Probably
You can
tomorrow.
kill Amy?
How does that sound to you?
And this oddity kind of regards you for a second, almost like it's doing a vibe check on you, Carrot.
My friend here, Mothy, can vouch for me. I treat your kind with respect when it is shown in kind.
Mothman Jr. had been like hiding behind your head, and he like pokes out like one of his 4 eyes and like one arm and just kind of like waves and then immediately hides again. And Shadow, when you say like your kind, it like bristles and it gets a little indignant at that and kind of huffs. And Shadow says,
No deal. I would like out tonight, please. If you're as skilled as Shawn says, you surely must know a way.
and we are going to thwack to Shawn. Speaking of, Shawn, you have run around to the front of the church. You see the doors. The chains have been like rewound, and they've been wound like an extra time. And the padlock, it's just like a normal, like standard, like square with the loop, and the loop goes around the chain. That loop had been what Mothman Jr. had broken, right? And Shadow had taken the loop, looped it through the chain, and then like bent it so that like the metal itself is like bent around these chains. So it's not locked, it's just like
tangled. Like,
yes,
I could get it back out, but it might take me a couple seconds, is what you're saying?
Yes, and it might also take you a pull.
Yes, I will do this. I will free these weird ghost hunter freaks who
I will
ruin
say,
my
like,
life.
it's like those little mazes for kids where you have to like move the chain through the loop and up and around that you give to children to occupy them at family functions. So
they put them in like the doctor's waiting room.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. So Shawn, yes, you will be able to untangle this mess of chain and whatever, but it will take you time. So while you are working on that, Tess, you can hear the conversation that Shadow and Carrot are having.
Is there any sort of like what is around me? Like, are there any sort of like benches or like lattices or like what do I have to work with?
Yeah, we'll say there's like some like old picnic tables, maybe for like church functions.
Okay.
They didn't burn, but they're not great quality.
I think I would like try and bring it to the window, like just in case there's not a way to get out the door, like, and they do end up needing to come through the window, like. Mm-hmm. And I still have the jar of dirt, right?
Yeah, you have the plastic bag of dirt. Absolutely.
I got a jar of dirt.
But yeah, Tessa, you can absolutely do that. It's like a little awkward, but like you can move it under the window, no problem. And like when you stand on it, we'll say that like your chest up is like in the window.
Oh, okay. Can I like sneak and just like watch what's happening?
Yeah, absolutely you can.
Cool, I'm gonna do it.
Excellent. So Carrot, Shadow has just said that they would like to be released tonight.
I can do that, but again, it still takes time. I don't have anything on me right now that I can use as a vessel to get you out of here.
Shadow giggles again. And you see, like, tucked away in that corner, Tess, the one that you saw in the pictures, and Shawn, the corner where you threw Shadow.
Oh, no.
Underneath some wood and some plaster, you see a charred, mangled,
absolutely fucking not
remnant of what used to be Shadow the doll. It's missing more than just one leg at this point. Its head is like cracked open like an egg.
No. No.
You only recognize it as a doll because you knew what it was before it got this fucked up. And Shadow hovers this in the air.
Well, you could fix this one. I don't like wearing this skin, but I'll suffer for 5 minutes again if it means getting out.
Okay, while this is happening, like, Tess has assessed the situation. She jumps down and runs to the front of the church where Shawn is.
Excellent. Yeah, so you see Shawn fumbling with this chain lock situation.
Have I gotten it open yet?
You have not. You've made considerable progress because it's been a couple minutes. You're like, it's like one of those like stupid puzzles. Like you can't figure out how they got tangled. So you're trying to like retangle it to try to untangle it. Like it's just kind of a mess. You are very close though.
Okay, Australian guy, Aussie dude is trying to like barter with the ghost thing, and it's just like resurrected the old doll. So, they seem to be the ghost specialists, so why don't we just like let them deal with that and we run back to the house because I've got the dirt right here and we can at least get a head start on dealing with one of the other ghosts.
But do we know what to do with the dirt? I mean,
She said like put it in a bag with the mirror thing, and like Amy's at the house, like Amy will know what to do. If you want to stay here and help them, that's fine, but I think I'm gonna get a head start going back to the house because this is just like insane. If there's any chance of us being able to save Claudia and Theo, like we need to act now and not like mess around with this thing.
Yeah, but I'm almost done here. I'm gonna try to just get this open so they can get out because they're still our best shot at knowing what the heck is going on, even though they don't seem to know that much more than us.
Carrot cannot hear this conversation, but would be very proud of the initiative that Tess is showing.
I'm glad that's what it's reading as.
Amazing.
So I like take a second look at Shawn. Just, are you sure that's what you want to do?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'll get it. Just go ahead and leave. You're pretty good at that now, aren't you?
Tess looks at him sideways and says, "We'll deal with that later," and sprints down the street.
Hey, all right. So Tess, you start tearing back towards the house. Shawn, you are fumbling with this chain. You are almost there. You get it through one of the loops, but you still have to like untangle your tangles to get the last one free. Carrot.
Yes.
Shadow is looking at you, and now it's more than just beer bottles rattling. Like some of the like debris on the floor, like the wood from the pews, are starting to quiver and twitch.
I would like to do a reassess of the window.
Okay. Because Tess shoved the picnic table over to it, your dismount is going to be a lot easier. But like the whole like frame of that window has specks and spots of glass. So there will be like a really big risk that you and probably Marigold will get cut going out of it. But so Carrot, as you're looking at this window, Shadow is saying,
You can improvise. Just give me something. I hate being trapped here. I hate it. Please.
Shadow, what we've been doing for the past hour is improvising.
Carrot, Marigold is wincing and she's like, just go. I'll be fine. It's fine. Just take care of Amy, please.
Goldilocks, if I leave you in here, you're gonna be dead when we get back. That is not a friendly.
I think I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna like pick Marigold up and like fireman carry her like out.
Hell yeah!
And like just try and like Super Mario like run and jump and like boing out.
So Carrot, Shadow like sees you tense, and Shadow starts just like much like Tess had her emotional giggle breakdown earlier. Shadow also just starts laughing in like a manic giggle, and these things start to lift higher in the air, and you can see like this heat wave form, tense with the strain as you brace yourself to rush through this window. And Shawn, at that moment you get the chains open and the doors are thrown open. Carrot, you see your exit.
That's very good.
I'm just gonna leg it. I'm gonna leg it faster than you can say Bob's your uncle.
Carrot, you and Marigold tear down the aisle. You are like dodging the debris on the ground. Marigold is screaming. And as you are running towards this open door, Shadow lets loose like wrought iron railings. You see pews, piles of wood, tile, stained glass, all come shooting at you. Carrot, make me a pull.
You got it.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do
I
it. You
got
can do
this.
it.
Come on,
You
Mom.
are fine. I just, oh God. Fuck. Oh my God.
I was gonna say,
All
he can't
right.
die 2 episodes in a row.
God. Carrot, you and Marigold cross the threshold of this building. Shawn, you are ready. You slam the door shut and you feel the impact of all of these things hit them. Oh. Carrot, you collapse onto the ground. Marigold just like tumbles off of your shoulder. Shawn, you take a shaking step back from these doors, and Shadow's manic laughter fades to a giggle and eventually quiets.
I think it's replaced by Carrot laughing. Oh, shit, Goldilocks. That's a story, ain't it?
Could say that. And Marigold hobbles to her feet. She can stand on like one leg, but she's limping. She was dressed in like a really nice blazer and like suit pants. Her like left leg is kind of soaked in like this dark stain. She looks to you, Shawn, and then starts looking around, and she's like, "Where's Tess? Is she okay? Are you okay?"
Yeah. She went back to get the dirt ready or something, and how long is it gonna hold in that bracelet thing?
Oh, the bracelet? That might hold for a day. It'll keep on the grounds, though, forever. We just need to get the fuck out of here now.
Sounds good.
The three of you carry Marigold like loops an arm around your shoulder, and you hobble.
I think I'd carry Marigold because I don't think it's a good idea.
Aw.
Am I the only one that's like picking up something between these two? Like,
Hey.
At least one direction.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good for Marigold to be like on a leg that's already like soaked in blood. Like that seems.
It's super not. And
Yeah.
like you start to try to like talk to Marigold into letting you carry her because she's a prideful woman and she doesn't need this shit. And eventually you're like, we don't have time, and just pick her up and start carrying her down the street. Tess, you run down the street back home and you burst into the garage, clutching the bag of dirt tightly in your hands. You look around, but you don't see anyone, and you panic for just a second before you hear another crash coming from inside Carrot's van. You step inside the car and you see Lewis still asleep on the bed. And you see Amy, surrounded by overturned boxes of ghost hunting supplies, some of which she has set aside. She's also found like some black paint that she smeared underneath her eyes, like a football player. And she's wearing one of Carrot's bandanas around her head. And she gives you this wild grin. And she says, "Let's fucking do this."
hell yeah! Woo!
Let's go.
Thank you for listening to Dread and Breakfast.
This episode's sponsored by the potential buddings of a new romance. Because I'm
Who says it's new?
romantic garbage. Yes, Jacob!
We'd like to thank Eli Schneider for our theme song and original music. You can find him and his band Open Doors on Spotify. We'd also like to thank our friend, He Who Must Not Be Credited, for composing the original melody that we've all been humming. Additional audio is credited in the episode notes. Our friend Emily is the mastermind behind this story's amazing episode art. You can find links to more of her work on our website, dndbpod.com. I've been told that this voice is not good, but I'm going to keep using it anyway. You can follow us on Instagram at dndbpod, or find us on Twitter at dreadandbefast. If you liked the show, be sure to give us a quick rating and review on the podcast app of your choice. And also, tell a friend about us. Thanks again for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the finale of the story. I hope you guys like it.